Hi and welcome to C# calculator. This is a very simple calculator for you guys to understand how to put together. So I feel I should share it with you. So let's start by clear. The clear works. Let's assume we want to go for 85 multiplied by 2. There we go. I want to use the plus minus, multiply that by another 2. No, we want to get rid of that 2. There, multiply it by 5. Then there we go. Then we can decide to use backspace and backspace. There we go. Look at that. Another backspace used. There, let's say 23 multiplied by 5. Let's add 2 to it. There, multiply that by 6. There we go. You see, it works just like any other calculator. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you guys straight into C# and we'll put one of these together. Let's do that now, guys. Okay, let's start a new project. I'm going to click on create new and let's select C# and click on next. Let's give our project a name. I'm going to call it CS_calculator. Calculator YouTube. There, and let me click on create. There we go. Okay, I'm going to define the size of my form now. Let's kind of like give the form approximately, let's go for about 389 by 545. So that's the size of my form. Now I'm going to create, let's add a panel here. There we go. That's my panel. Just drag the panel that much. There, that's fine. And this very panel, let's change the color. Come straight to where the properties, the back color right here. I'm going to change that back color to cadet blue. There, and press enter. And I will also select, you see the border style, I'm going to make that fixed 3D. There, that's fine. Now back to the tools. I'm going to grab a text box, just drag it that much, and let's change the rectangle here, let's change it to multi-line. Now come straight to the properties of the text box, change that to txtDisplay. Come right down here. See where we have the text, I'm going to add enter a 0 there. Text align, let's get it aligned to the right. And let's come right here where we have font, change the font size. I'm going to make that bold, 20 bold. There, and that's all there is to that. Now let's go back to the tools and add buttons. Now grab a button, just draw that there. I'm going to make the size of that button about 77 by 76. 77 by 76. And let's change the font size of this button. First of all, get rid of the text content on it. The font size, I'm going to make that 20 bold as well. And that is 20 bold. And let's copy this across. Hold on to your control, click and drag. Click and drag there. And repeat the same thing. That is it. And we need 2 more here. 2 rows. There, that is it. My calculator interface is now ready. So let's select the ones underneath here. Oh, first of all, let's go to Word. I'm going to go straight into Word. I need this very backspace. To get this very backspace, all you need to do is go to Insert. Let's assume we don't have it there. Select symbol, click on More Symbol and go to Wingings. and scroll right down. You should be able to see there we go, the symbol right there, and that is it. I also need the plus minus sign as well. Grab those two. I can close this. Now let's copy this very one, the first one. Now come right here, select the button, and inside the text paste that there. But we will then have to change the font to Windows. Now let's type in W there. That is it. Okay, and make sure it's 20. Click on OK. That is it, done. And let's repeat the same thing for the plus minus. That is the plus minus. I believe you guys can see that's it right there. I'm going to copy that as well and just come right here. I think the plus minus, we don't need to change the fonts there, and press enter. That is it right there. Now this one here, we're going to enter in there CE. We have C there, and here we have 7, 8, 9, the plus sign, subtract. We have 6 here, 5, 4, 1, 2, 3. Multiplication. We have 0 here, 0, decimal point equals, and division there. That is my calculator interface now completed. Here. So the next thing is, this one already has a name. I'm now going to give them all a name. I'll call this one btn backspace. Change that again. btn backspace. And this is btn ce. btnc, that will be for the clear. btn plus minus pm. btn7, btn8, btn9, btn addition. You can just call that add. btn subtract. btn6, btn5, btn4, btn1, btn2, btn3, btn multiply. So I'm just going to call that mod. And we have btn division. Can call that divide. btn equals. Okay, that's fine. And btn decimal. btn 0. That's it, all taken care of. Done. All right. Okay, now I'm going to double click on the form, and let's go right into the right up here underneath the public class there. I'm going to declare the following variables. So let's use this data type double as first num, comma, second num. Those are the two variables that I intend to use there. And I will also create another variable I'll call that string up. That's just going to be for my operators. That's it. My two variables are now in place. 3 variables actually. 2 double and 1 string. Now let's go back to the form itself. I'm going to start with the button. Double click on button 7. So using an if statement for this very button 7, I'm going to enter the following: if txtDisplay.Text equals the value 0, come out of it and just enter curly braces, and I'm now going to say the txt display equals 7. Now the next thing I'm going to say is else, open up your curly braces, txt display equals txt display, we then concatenate 7 into it, come out of it and enter your semicolon. That is it. The 7 is taken care of. So if I run it now, this is what you guys will see. So if I click on 7, there we go. So what happened here is, if I click on the 7, if it has 0, if I click on 7 once, it will display 7. But if I continue clicking 7, 7, 7, just like you've seen now, it keep adding 7. So I'm just going to copy that, copy all of these and change it around for the other buttons. This is why this method is very simple to understand for new beginners. So I'm going to change that to 8. So 8 times 8, button 8 is taken care of. Button 9, repeat exactly the same thing for 9. Number 4, button 4, the same thing, change that to 4, and 4 here as well. 5, paste, that becomes 5, and this becomes 5 as well. 6, there, that is 6. And the next one is 1. Change that to 1, and this is to 1 as well. We have 2 here. That becomes 2, and 2 here. Followed by 3. Paste. And we have 3 here, and 3. Now let's go for 0. Yes, exactly the same thing. I will repeat this, exactly the same thing for 0. There we go. There, that's it, all taken care of. So if I run the program now, let's see, it's coming up. There we go. Now 7, and you can add as many 0 as you want. So that's why it's like that. Okay, that is fine. Good. Now the next thing is, let's take care of the operators. Okay, so let's double click on the plus, double click on the plus sign. So with the plus sign, I'm going to end up and say first number, my variable, equals, and because this is double, the data type is double, I'm going to have to convert the content I have in there. I'm going to say double dot parse whatever I have inside my txt display into my variable called first number. There. Now my operator equals, in this case, the plus sign, and let's clear my text box now. Let's clear it. There we go. That is it. The plus sign is taken care of. Now copy that, repeat exactly the same thing for the subtraction. Paste that in there, change the operator to subtract. There. Now multiplication, repeat exactly the same thing for multiplication. Division, right there, division, taken care of. And that's all there is to it. Now let's take care of the plus minus. Double click on the plus minus. With the plus minus, I'm going to first of all declare a variable, and this variable, let's just call it q. I'm going to say q equals, let's convert to double, dot to double whatever we have inside the text box. So grab the text box itself and paste it right in there and enter semicolon here. So whatever we have inside the text box is converted to double and store inside q. Now the text box again, we would then say text box equals, now convert dot to string, whatever we have, because we want to minus 1 multiplied by whatever we have inside q, and enter semicolon. That is it. That is my plus minus taken care of. I just made that up and it works fine. So if I run it now, look at what's going to happen. There guys, we can just add our plus minus, okay, and I can take it off, add it again. Yeah, it's working fine. So close that. Okay, now let's take care of the clear. Just double click on that. All we just need to do is grab this and paste it right there and change that to 0. So that is it. Oh, undo that. Enter the 0 right in here. There we go. There. In the case of the clear entry, what we have to do in there, first of all, I'm going to say the text box is 0. Okay, so let's create two new variables, two new string variables. String, I'm going to say f for the first number and s for the second number. And these two new variables are going to then assign some value into them. Okay, let's grab this. F equals convert to string whatever we have inside first num. There. And exactly the same thing is going to be repeated for this, the second one. There. So in that case, convert the second num to string as well. There we go. Now, we then need to clear whatever we have. F equals clear, and S, which is the second one, equals clear as well. What I've just done now is, if you, let's assume you say 2 multiplied by 12, and if you want to delete the 12, just hit on the clear entry. The 12 will be deleted and you can add whatever value you want. Once the programs are running, I'll show that to you and you see how that works. So that takes care of that. Now let's take care of the, we've done 1. Okay, we've done everything apart from 1 and 2. Double click on backspace. With the backspace, all we need to do there is we're going to use an if statement to determine the length of the text box. So let's say if, let's say txt, let's see if I can grab that here. If txt, enter a bracket there, txt display dot length, if the length is greater than 0, open up curly braces, then what we want the system to do is txt display equals txt display dot remove whatever we have inside txt display dot length minus 1 comma 1. Come out of there. That is it, taken care of. But supposing it's all 0, if it's all 0, we just don't let it go as 0. If there's nothing in there, we want the system to officially enter a 0 in there. So I'm now going to just Let's copy all of this and just delete what I don't want there. Copy, come down here, paste, and I'm going to delete all of this. If it's empty, this is the sign of empty, there's nothing in there. Then I want the text box to become 0. That's all. That's it, done. That takes care of that. If it's 0, if it's empty, default it back to 0. That's all. So if I run the program now, look at what's going to happen. Now, enter some value in there, and I'm going to backspace and delete it all. You see the last one officially defaulted back to 0. Do that again. There. You see that, guys? So this is the lines of code for that. That's how easy it is with using this method to create a calculator. Now, finally, let's take care of this equals. With the equals, I'm going to be using what is known as switch statements. There, double click on that. Now, come in here, and I'm going to first of all enter my variable second num. So I'm going to change the second num as follows, or enter the following lines of code: double dot pass as follows. And what am I passing? Whatever I have inside the text box. So I'm going to grab that and just paste that in there. So whatever I have inside the text box is officially passed straight onto my variable here. Now I'm going to use this method called switch instead of using if statement. Come right down here. Let's say switch. There we go. That's it right there. And what am I switching? I'm actually switching my variable, the ops, whatever I have inside the operator. Enter a curly braces right there. So the first one is if is plus. Okay, come out of it. Enter column there. If the case that we're switching to is the plus sign, we want whatever we have. We want the text box to inherit as follows. Text box equals first num plus the second num. That's all. Then we want to convert it to string as well. Dot to string. And just enter parentheses there. That takes care of that. Okay. We're having this error because when you use a switch statement, you officially have to enter break there with semicolon. See, the error is gone. So that's for the very first switch statement. So all I just need to do now is copy and paste. Copy that, come right down here, paste for the second one, and this is subtract, and enter subtraction here as well. The next one will be multiplication, and change this to multiplication, followed by division. Change that to division, and this is division as well. There, that is it, all done. But guess what? We need default statement. Default, we just enter break in there. There we go. That is my calculation officially taken care of. There. All done. That is it. It only takes 25 minutes. Alright, so let's run it and see. There we go, guys. So let's enter whatever number. Let's say 5 plus 9 there. And change that. Plus minus 14, multiply that by maybe 8. There we go. Okay, and backspace, backspace, backspace. Let's say 4 multiply by 3. That would have been 12, but we want to get rid of the 3. So clear that, multiply by 4 again, or 5, and the answer should be 20. There we go, look at that. So the clear entry is working fine. So guys, that's how you create your own calculator using C#. So with that, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial, and bye for now.